I say to all my students, I say, okay, when we do names today, I'm still getting to know you. Can you tell the rest of the class what pronouns you use? Does everyone know what I mean when I say pronouns? And almost in like unison, they all kind of like roll their eyes back in their head and go, yes, we know what pronouns are.
Can I just say something here? This isn't a very important point, but aren't you uncomfortable around young, straight, male kindergarten teachers? Don't you want to be in administration or something, or help build it? Like it's sort of like a straight male flight attendant. I'm fine with chick attendants, even fat, ugly ones. I'm fine with gay ones. They say, I get it. You want to travel and suntan and meet lots of guys, but like a straight male, hey, can I get you something? You're not a bartender. Why are you serving me? Why are you a waitress in the sky? I'm uncomfortable around this guy. But I don't think he's evil. Not like the others. I think the others are mentally ill, and we'll get to that in a second.
We totally understand.
He's just very low
and I go, oh, okay. So I'll start off. My name is Mr. Adrian, and I use him and he pronouns. We go around, and without even skipping a beat, the students had no problem.
When
you ask someone
skipping
their pronouns, they tell you, they're giving you a little bit of insight into who they are and sharing something with you. And it's really important to listen.
Thanks for the heads up. How about the language they speak? Part of this, too, is
for people who think,
don't teach my kids to talk like a valley girl. Don't teach them to have that interrogative tone at the end, where everything is like a question. And I think it's really good to talk about, like, I don't even know gays who talk like that anymore. There's such stereotypes. But go ahead, Trans Alliance member Aisha Ismail Kanani.
It's too hard to use they as a singular pronoun. It's really important just to practice. Often for people when they're thinking about gender, there's fluidity, there's multiplicity, so sometimes they really is the right fit for the person.
Just pause. Pause! That's a hell of a pause! Wow, is that a pause? All right, first of all, have you noticed, by the way, with this far left trans thing, and I lost my ad agency for saying trans people are mentally ill gays. I don't think you're trans, first of all. I think maybe there's like 700 people in America who are genuinely unsure what gender they are. I think they are mentally ill. But the rest of you, the other millions and millions with all your pronouns, you are following a fashion trend. And by the way, don't teach fashion trends to my children. Hi, these are punks and mods. It's really important that you identify as a punk or a mod or a rocker. If you go to Brighton Beach, you're gonna have to fight mods over your different musical tastes. No, you're not allowed to bring that into the kindergarten classroom. But it's starting to appear that not just that genuine trans movement are mentally ill. I'm starting to think everyone who's involved is mentally ill. I'm starting to think gays are mentally ill gays, or at least there's a disproportionate number, because check out this sketchbook! Look at this sketchbook! Stop! Stop!
I've been following Gavin McInnes and talking about him here on this channel for quite some time. And I know that sometimes I can be kind of edgy myself. It's kind of unintentional. I've stumbled over my own words, and in the past, especially when this channel first started, sort of fumbled upon being more offensive than I wanted to be. In sort of, discussing these subjects, because you get passionate when discussing politics. Gavin McInnes is on a whole nother level. In the last week, he's been his job, not from this show. This show is him doing rebel style commentary segments on a relatively vanilla conservative YouTube channel called CRTV. A clip was released recently from his show within Sirius Network host Anthony Cumia's channel, which is the Gavin McInnes Show, where he has some kind of a drunken meltdown and asks his co-host to perform fellatio on him, offers his bare penis to the person that he's speaking to on the dais, and then fully inserts a dildo into his exposed rectum, meaning like while he was on air, he just decided to create hardcore pornography during a political commentary show, which will go down in history at least the amazing atheist T.J. Kirk, when he shoved something up his ass for the sake of shock, he did it off air in his own private time. What you have here is Gavin McInnes. I can't tell if it's alcoholism. I can't tell if it's that he has something unresolved mentally that needs to be examined by a therapist, or if it's just garden variety edgelordism, that the internet space has become so oversaturated with people who get eyeballs by being grotesque or being profane or being vulgar, that the standard intolerance or you know, the usual ways that people discuss the normies is starting to fail. So, you know, when I see McInnes, he has, over time, again, because he's beholden to being the edgy boy, he's beholden to being the biggest punk, right? Because he has the specter of having been a punk. You know, he talks about that a lot. He reminisces about his time being an actual rebel, supposedly, when he was a punk fighting Nazis in the street. So his addiction to being the edgy boy, even when he's supposed to be a champion of conservative values. So what fascinates me about Gavin McInnes and a lot of these alt-right people, but particularly Gavin McInnes, is that he goes on these rants about how the most innocuous bids for tolerance by trans or non-binary trans people or gay people or whoever is making him feel uncomfortable in his masculinity that week is a threat to your children and a threat to traditional Western values. And then he tells his co-host to suck his cock and watch as he shoves a dildo completely up his open, lubricated ass on air. So, you know, I for example, I don't really respect T.J. Kirk, but I can comprehend the mechanisms of him being an edgelord, meaning that he is effectively a moral nihilist. He may not identify as that, like Garyepi, for example, does identify as a moral nihilist, but effectively, T.J. Kirk is a moral nihilist. He has no positive positions. All of his positions are from a negative standpoint. You know, more than anything else, the only position T.J. Kirk has are that he's against certain things. He's a reactionary. That's what a reactionary basically is. Gavin McInnes also doesn't have any actual positive positions. He just knows what he's against, and he knows what's a threat to his preferred identity of old school 1950s butch psychopath sex fiend. So on the one hand, these alt-lighters like McInnes talk about how they want tolerance for transgender people that agree with them. So McInnes will have Blair White on his program, but then he'll make her say that trans people are mentally ill, and she'll go, "Yeah, great, misgender me." And you know, he'll have gay people on, but those gay people will go, "Oh, I'm so disgusted by pride parades." I agree with you, Gavin. I agree with you that gay visibility is disgusting. You know, so it's a weird cognitive dissonance. At least the alt-righters admit that they are homophobes, or they admit that they're racist to some extent, or they admit that they're transphobic. They admit that they hate. Someone like McInnes feigns liberal tolerance before completely shaming and making profound moral arguments against teaching tolerance, which is what, I mean, this was a very innocuous program. Not to mention that one of the things he decided to harp on was that the woman has an Arab Pakistani, I think that was the phrasing he used, that she has a Pakistani-ish name, a Muslimy name. Those are his words. But you know, this is the end point. This is why shitlordism wasn't sustainable, is because the addiction to being the most edgy boy is going to end in this kind of personal self-destruction. because you keep on having to escalate the extent to which you are not just outside the norm, but sort of proudly degenerate, you know, and not in the alt-right sense, in the sense that fucking Gavin McInnes is degenerate scum. I mean, he really is a hateful, nasty, racist, sexist, all the ists and isms he wants to proudly wear, but he also, as a member of the intellectual dark web, does not want to be held accountable for his positions. I don't hate you, but you're mentally ill. I don't hate you, but I find you disgusting. I don't hate you, but stay in the closet. You know, like at least go all the way, man. I'm really tired of Gavin McInnes doing. He even went halfway on Holocaust denial. He's like, look, I don't hate Jews, but blah blah blah. Jewish question. This guy is the perfect edgelord because he's a complete. He's a garish person who puts up like a facade of being a bold rebel, but like basically he's a moral coward.